Well, no, that's the
It
same as
really
the
is.
Pack 40 right before it. So it's application specific. Are you on a map like Tank Graveyard where there's no trees in the middle of the map? That's where the Martyr's going to come in handy. On a map like, say, behind enemy lines or Blitz, for example, that's where the Pack 40 is going to come in handy because you got a lot of trees, a lot of hidden, angles where the recon might not be able to see, and that AT gun will come in handy more so there,
I remember a couple of games where I used those as an extra unit for a push when you have like Panzer IVs and those at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
They only
quite
have armor
powerful and
one.
quite cheap, so
The Martyrs
they're
only have armor one though, so they can like take damage from artillery. They're kind of fragile, so you gotta be careful with them. I think.
oh yeah. But it is definitely second rank attack unit, but
Yeah.
it's powerful. It's a huge range, so it actually can stay back behind Panzer IVs while dishing out damage as well. I think this unit is a bit underused, really. I don't see
Yeah, it
that
has
unit
potential.
often.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be very good on its own. It'll lose to most tanks because of its low armor. Because one shot it by most things.
Oh, and Marauders don't have torrent, so if you run infantry against it, it will back off and not be able to shoot, really.
All right. Just real quick tip, you guys, when you're using AT guns and tanks that do not have turrets, use your hotkey. It's E, and that is the stop order. And you need to keep your finger next to that key when you're in the middle of a battle with these AT guns and turretless tanks, so you can press E and get them to shoot, or else they're not going to fire for you. So practice that. That's a good skill to learn to use.
Yeah. Next is the Jag Panther.
Yeah.
Which is the advanced anti-tank. Or what do you call it? Tank story from Germany. Now 500 range, armor 4. They cost 35, I think.
30, sorry.
30. They're 30 each.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't see use for them really. The Tiger is gonna do much more for just the extra 10, I think.
Well, the Tiger actually does a lot less damage. It does approximately 20% less damage. The Jagd Panther does a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more damage than a King Tiger. And it does so for $20 less at only $30. So the Jagd Panther getting a trade-off. It's armor 4. It has less armor than a King Tiger, but it's only $30, and it actually does as much damage as a King Tiger.
But you don't get a turret, and you don't get a machine gun,
turret.
and you don't get high caliber shells, which means you can't blow up
and
buildings.
I think again we're gonna tangent back to Russians, and I think the Russians advanced TT is better.
Well, those SU-100s, yeah, they're quite
SU-100s? Yeah,
Maybe
they're
we'll
nice.
do Russia next. We're talking about Russia and France so much. They're next on the list. For these things. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I used to see him back in the day, before Christmas last year, I think. These things were quite popular. I remember.
They look again
but
awesome,
yeah, they do. But then after that, I didn't see them getting used much, and I definitely don't use them much.
Well, in
Ever,
1v1, I
I've ever used them
certainly
much.
don't use them. They're
No.
tit for tat to the same as an SU-100, except they cost $5 more, and I don't know. In a 1v1, I don't use them. I never use them in 1v1, so... but they're very powerful. They do a lot of damage, but no turret, so you gotta stop them. You gotta micro them a lot.
Yeah. And that concludes the AT base, I think. What have we got now? We'll leave the final frontier, which is air, for last because they're all up in the sky. Why not go for the protobase? Protobase is a mix of also the German protobase is nice.
let's leave proto at the end because it's the most fun.
I think air is the most fun. Air's the most fun.
Well, I don't know.
I already started talking about.
Okay, let's guess lecture.
$100 protobase. Yes, I get
Yeah.
what I want. You got your $100 protobase,
Okay.
which is the cheapest, right?
It's probably the best proto base in the game, arguably.
Yeah,
I would say, you know.
Arguably with Italy. That would be my.
Oh yeah, Italy's is good too. Very good.
My 2 cents in this argument.
Yeah. Now, sometimes when we're messing around, right? The lineup of the German proto base makes it so that you could theoretically use only the German proto base in a game. We've done it sometimes in bigger games where you've got teammates to play properly and sort of support your game, but it can be fun. So yeah, you've got your recon. They cost 30. They're Pumas. And what have you got here? You've got an MG42, which comes out of the main gun. And then it's a Panzer IV, isn't it? Damage?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right. It's an awesome unit.
Yeah, it's more or less.
It really is.
Yeah. So, but then it's armor 2. So, the other proto recon, excluding Japan's, is the EBR, which costs less, gets a bigger gun,
and level armor
faster 3 and more armor.
Yes.
It does. The EBR does almost twice as much damage as the Puma, but same speed. It's a higher armor, but I don't. Whatever. The Puma has the suppression though with that MG42.
Yeah, but it's an armored recon, and it's gonna scare away all the other armored recons with the exception of the EBR.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah, it does its job, except against the EBR, basically. And then you got the verbal winds. Not much else to talk about with the Pumas or the verbal winds now. A machine gun. Well, they're an A unit first, machine gun unit second, of course. But I think the machine gun in them is significant because it actually comes into play a lot more than I would expect.
Yeah, both a machine gun and AA can shoot at the infantry, which is
exactly
huge damage.
So they rip infantry up really, and then their damage to planes is massive as well.
Absolutely.
Just like with any, well, not any, but almost all the armored AA units in the game, do huge damage to planes. They have armor 3, and they cost 25 research and 35 each.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
I do like them. I think the most from armored AA. The level armor 3 is the deal breaker for me. If it's any less, it's too easy to kill by spam of planes.
Yeah.
I find often that as contrarios could be easily spotted and countered if your opponent has the upper hand with the fighter move, especially Hurricanes.
Japanese one is what? It's Contraro out of the armor base for 25 research, 25 each, but you know.
I've never heard of Japan. Is that a nation included in RUSE? I must have missed us. Well, I must have missed us.
Anyway. Yeah, Lightmaster doesn't believe in Japan. But anyway.
It was a rumor or something.
I want just a addendum to the Wirbelwind, if I may. If you're facing like UK or a mirror match against a German player and they're using a lot of air, the Wirbelwind itself, while very powerful, sometimes it can't be the standalone unit. You might have to support it with either your own planes or some cheap $10 flak 20s to support the Wirbelwind, because two or three Wirbelwinds, while they can kill planes, if your opponent has a lot of fighter bombers, they can take out your Wirbelwinds like that. If you don't have anything to back them up AA wise, you're going to be out a lot of money. They're very expensive units. You don't want to lose Wirbelwinds. So
yeah, without sort of going off on a tangent, the M16s are especially good at that. I think supporting AA. But they can't get strafed by fighters, but just like 1 or 2 M16s, and will really like strengthen your AA defense.
Yep.
I usually find that M8, M8 109 and Wirbelwinds make a perfect match. It's just a deadly combo.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
ME 109s and the Wirbelwinds. Is that what you said, Lagman?
Yeah, he means the German basic fighters and the Whirlwinds. Yeah, they're.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Even Spitfires cannot just counter that. Like.
Yeah, they don't Spitfires, jets. They don't want no part of Whirlwinds plus your fighters. Yeah, they'll get chewed up for sure.
Yeah. These are gonna be long. Hope you get some
So
useful advice. Anyway, yeah. Next up, I think we're talking enough about those, or yeah. But they're certainly very strong armored A unit. Mortars now, long range artillery. What do we think? 2.4 kilometers.
what
They
do you
cost
think?
60. Yeah.
Mortars are awesome. Uh, I mean, okay, in a
The
team
only
game,
thing that comes up to my
maybe.
mind is
consider them.
admin fail.
Yeah.
Okay, center of gravity, 3v3. The
The
Morser is the
standard
game
RUSE
breaker.
gameplay now.
Well, it's all you need from a Morser is one or two of its shells to land on an admin or near an admin, and the admin is
Yeah.
dead.
I'm
So
not
Splash
sure if
damage.
we should say that or I might cut it out later, but get like 5 or 6 of them, spam some recon plays, and just sacrifice them, and your opponent is going to cry. Oh, dear.
Yeah. All you 3v3 center of gravity noobs who like to sit back in your base and spam 20 admins, it's so easy
Per
to
second,
take
you
your
forgot to
admins
say.
out. Yeah, all you need is 1 or 2 seconds of window, and the Morser fires a few
Yeah.
shots. Just 2 Morsers can take out 4 or 5 admins. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where you aim, it's gonna scatter all over the base, so...
Yeah,
It's
too
like
easy.
Tigger's power spam tactic, and the planes getting shot down actually hit admin fields.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, and 1v1, it's very questionable.
I've
I don't know if I
never
build them or
seen
not.
1v1 with like advanced use of proto base.
yeah,
Like,
no,
there's just
don't
not
think
enough
so.
time and money.
Uh,
Yeah, spending
uh,
60 on an artillery unit, I don't know.
You could see verbals maybe, but Morsers, like, what is it
yeah.
research? Like, I think it's 50, a price
It's
of
50
6.
research, and they're 60 each. Pretty expensive.
Yeah. Plus that their build
So,
time is probably long as well. So,
Yeah,
yeah. They're the
yeah,
kind of unit
so,
I build in a 1v1. If I know my opponent has admins, then I'll plan it like for the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game to have a Morser or two out and get those couple of shells lobbed over and take out his admins to clinch the game. That's the kind of thing I might do in a
hmm.
1v1 with a Morser. You can clinch a game with one of them.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, without spending too much time on a unit which really isn't that useful, except in those admin games. You got the mouse, or however you pronounce it.
talking
Tiger
about
calls them
useless.
mouses.
The
uh,
v- the Verfarmen is next actually.
oh, is it?
Warfarm is last in the line. Mouse is
Yeah,
next.
it's kind of at the back. So.
My fault. I'm using an old. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you're doing it wrong. Anyway, yeah, you got mouse, and
What can we
no,
say about it? It's big.
The mouse.
Yeah.
Uh,
rolling bunker.
Yeah, really.
Bigger version of the B1 beast.